What's up guys, I'm Roy Powers here with Louis Deane, the developer of Spectra. Now today we're just going to be taking a little look at the game, finding about what exactly it is. So how would you pitch Spectra to the people?
So my sort of 2-minute pitch is that Spectra is a rhythm racing game. It's kind of like an endless runner where the tracks are procedural and generated by some of the best chiptune music that we've ever heard.
Exactly, which we will get onto a little bit later on because I'm very excited about that. Now the game itself, it has kind of a arcade feel to it. Would you say that's part of the inspiration? You know, where it's maybe you don't make it that far, maybe you fail at the first hurdle, much like myself, but it's very much pick yourself back up and get right back into it again.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's connected to kind of a funny story. When I was a kid, we used to go around these family holidays and they'd be to a hotel that was in Devon in England, in the middle of nowhere. And the only kind of entertainment that they had there that was outside of kind of riding bikes or playing tennis, because I was quite nerdy, was this one arcade cabinet machine that was in the corner. And I just got hooked to that kind of short play time with super hard difficulty and then death game loop. Gateway Interactive as a studio is a relatively new studio, and we just wanted to break in on something that was something we were passionate about, sparked a little bit of memories of our childhood, and and we just wanted to kind of relive that slightly on a modern gen console, and that was what we were going for.
Awesome, let's dive in. Yeah, so this is kind of the selections of levels that we have in the game.
Yeah, so the star rating is the track completion percentage.
Okay.
So we took the edge off the kind of insta-death arcade style slightly. You only have to get 20% of the way through a track to unlock the next one. But this game's
good for me. That's definitely good for me.
Well, we didn't want to lock people out of the content if they were struggling with the difficulty. But what we did want to do was kind of establish a bar for how your quality was going to be measured. But yeah, there's 10 playable levels, and they scale in difficulty exponentially as you go through the game.
Well, let's start on one of the easier ones.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. How much do the levels kind of vary? I know they may vary in difficulty, but in terms of level design, is there much of a contrast between the earlier ones and the levels at the end?
We've got kind of this core community that's like, yeah, keep it super simple. Like we want to just learn the knack of it. And then there's the complete other flip side where they're like, oh, we want more levels and more stuff and more colours and more objects. And so at the moment it's all one colour because that side won the office discussion when the game was unreleased. But we might add some more in the future. The game design, which was written on a single page of A4 in handwriting nobody could read, said Tron made of glass.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of aimed for with the game look and feel. But also to kind of push we actually pushed the GPU harder than Titanfall does. Wow. Which is quite interesting because we use pretty much all of the graphics RAM for a massive, I think it's like 32 times anti-aliasing pass on the game.
Yeah.
So you get this like super crisp, it looks like a vector drawing. When
I was first playing it, one of the comparisons I kind of drew up was F-Zero X.
Yes.
Those similar games. Obviously, this doesn't have the competitive racing or the smashing. But what I kind of got the vibe of was that this was more tailoring towards completionists, playing these levels again and again, trying to get that 100% success rate. Yeah, absolutely,
and that's absolutely bang on who the game is for. And they're a kind of a niche crowd, and I sort of felt sorry that there aren't many titles that appeal to that nature.
It's great as well because it's a reasonably simple concept, but it's one of those games where because the gap between dying and restarting is so simple and short, it's so easy to just keep on playing.
I may as well, and then 3 hours have passed and you've been doing that.
You blink and you have a beard and everyone around you is withered and you're a skeleton man. So the soundtrack is done by the very notable award-winning chiptune musician Chiptune.
Yes.
Was the game developed with her in mind, or was it developed with chiptune in mind? And because obviously she's well known for doing the soundtrack for Super Hexagon.
Yes.
At what point did she kind of come into the production of the game?
It was actually kind of right from the start. So there's a really interesting story about how we met, actually. It was at GDC, and basically we were the only 2 British people who were there.
Yeah.
And we were desperately trying to find something that didn't have corn syrup in it to drink, and we didn't manage. You're not gonna find it.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to kind of burden her with a load of work because I know she was busy with other things. So I said, you've released this album called Spectra. What if we built a game around it? And so actually all of the design decisions were influenced by the music that was there right from the start. So I love it. I love the subculture behind it. I love the people who create it.
I feel like I'm gonna get, when you play too much Guitar Hero, and then you look at a wall and it's all kind of melting. I feel like I'm gonna get that.
Or have a seizure. I mean, there's one.
Either one, yeah, absolutely. I guess one of the interesting choices was to have this be a console-based game.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious decision from day one? To make it an Xbox title?
It wasn't so much a decision from the beginning, let's build a console title. It was just the people who approached us had the right approach to it. They weren't fussy, they weren't mightier than thou, they were very humble.
So that was our first look at Spectra. If you like rhythm games, if you like chiptune, if you like a challenge, we would definitely recommend that you pick this up. So where is this game available at the minute?
So you can pick this game up on Xbox One and Steam, published by Mastertronic, and then it's coming to other things soon, we hope.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Thanks
for coming in, and for
fun.
all the latest video game news, stay tuned here to IGN.